Is everything okay? You usually text me during your lunch break, but I haven't heard from you today.
Hey, sorry honey. I haven't had the best day, so it completely slipped my mind.
How come? What has happened?
It's just a silly little thing.
Well, tell me about it. What has got you down?
It's just, Mary messaged me earlier and announced that she is pregnant again. She's expecting her fourth child.
Wow. When did she find out?
She told me she took the pregnancy test today, but she reckons she's about 6 weeks along.
Oh, wow. 6 weeks, huh?
I know it's silly, but I'm just a bit jealous, I guess. You know, we have just been trying so hard to get pregnant, but it seems so easy for her. I mean, 4 kids! And we have been trying for months now, just for our first.
I'm sorry, my darling. I know you must be feeling a bit disappointed, but we will keep trying.
It just feels like everything comes so easily for her, and I always have to work so much harder for the same things.
I am sure things will turn around soon enough. Don't overthink it and become discouraged. And you know, you can always talk to me about anything, no matter how you are feeling.
Thanks, honey. I love you. I have to get back to work now, but I will see you when I get home from work later.
I love you too. See you later.
Hi, honey. Are things okay with us? I wanted to talk about this last night, but I just couldn't bring myself to bring it up.
Yes? Why do you ask?
You just seem to be a bit distant lately. If I had to pinpoint it, it seems like this indifference started the day after I told you about Mary's pregnancy.
I'm not going to lie to you. I respect you too much for that. But lately, I feel like we have been growing apart.
Where is this coming from? I had no idea you have been feeling this way. Why did you not bring it up sooner? Is it something we can work on? I am willing to work on a relationship, Brian. I don't want to just throw our 15 years of marriage away.
I just think my feelings have changed. As all, I don't think it is something we can work on, to be frank. I just feel it would be better for both of us if we just filed for a divorce.
What? Surely there is some way we can work through this?
No, I don't think there is.
Well, I'm sorry you feel this way. I really had no idea that you were feeling so strongly about this. I noticed you had been distant, but I never imagined you would want a divorce.
I'm sorry, Margie. I just think this is the best option for us.
Hey, honey. I know things have been a little bit tense between us after the other day, but I have some news.
Oh? What news?
I was going to wait for you to get home and tell you in person, but since you are working late, I just could not wait any longer.
It must be really exciting news if it's got you all anxious to share. Usually, you're pretty good at waiting for us both to get home and sharing how our days went over dinner.
I know, but I think you'll be glad I didn't keep this news until supper.
Well, go on then. Tell me.
I'm pregnant.
What?
I know we have been trying for a few months now, with no luck. But finally, our hard work and perseverance have paid off.
That's amazing! I can't believe it!
I knew I just couldn't wait to tell you.
When did you find out?
I was feeling a little queasy at lunch, and I just had a feeling. So, I popped out and picked up a pregnancy test, and it came out positive.
This is fantastic news! I know things have been rocky between us recently, but I think we should try and work things out, especially for the baby.
Really? You don't want to get a divorce?
Not just yet. I feel like we should give our baby the best chance to grow up in a family home, not split between two parents.
You really mean that?
I am willing to work on our relationship if you are.
Of course I am. I am so happy to hear you say that.
Great. I promise I will get us the best marriage counselor money can buy. This baby is not going to be brought up in a broken home if I can help it.
I'm so happy you want to try and make this work. Our baby is going to have the best life.
I just have a few more things to finish up here, and then I will be on my way home. I love you.
I love you too. I can't believe it. Your fake pregnancy plan worked.
Really?
Yes. I told Brian that I was pregnant and he wanted to try and make our marriage work for the baby. He even said that he would get us the best marriage counselor.
Wow, amazing. Now all you need to do is actually create a baby.
I know, that is the next step. I thought about it and I'm going to use the excuse that regular sexual activity is good for the development of the baby. That way, I am bound to get pregnant eventually.
Okay, and what did your doctor have to say today at your visit?
About that, I haven't been able to see the doctor. I was so focused on what I was going to tell Brian and the possible scenarios that could have happened that it completely slipped my mind.
Margaret, you have to make an appointment to see the doctor.
I know, I will. I will phone the doctor's room first thing in the morning.
Alright, well, let me know how it goes.
I will.
Hey sis, how did your doctor's appointment go? They probably just told you your iron was low, and that's why you have been struggling to get pregnant, right? It is always something ridiculous like that.
No, not quite.
Well then, what did they say? It was something else completely crazy, right? Like, you have been doing it in the wrong position?
No, it's not that at all.
Go on then, spill the beans.
I'm infertile.
Really, Margie? Stop playing games and just tell me what the doctor said. I'm dying to know.
I'm not playing games. He told me I'm not capable of having a baby.
What?
He used a lot of medical jargon, but the gist of it is the reason I haven't been able to fall pregnant is because I'm not physically capable of getting pregnant.
Oh, Margaret, I'm sorry.
I don't know what I'm going to do. If I tell Brian this, he's bound to want a divorce again. The only reason he seemed willing to work on our relationship was because he was expecting to be a father.
So? Then don't tell him.
How can I not tell him? As you said, he is inevitably going to find out that I was faking the pregnancy when I never gave birth.
There are other ways of getting a baby.
I'm not going to steal a baby, Mary.
I wasn't going to suggest that. I'm not crazy. You can apply for an adoption. There are tons of women out there who give up their babies at birth. You could apply for an anonymous adoption and basically just pick one up from the hospital.
I don't know, that seems a little over the top. Faking an entire pregnancy just to adopt a baby? What happens when the child grows up and looks nothing like Brian or me?
I didn't think of that.
I'm just going to have to tell him. We're going to our first counseling session tonight. I guess I will have to break the news to him then. I'm trying to fix our relationship. I don't want to continue growing it on a mountain of lies.
I guess not. Let me know how he takes the news.
Sure. You manipulative, lying wench! How could you?
Excuse me?
Those are some strong words to use against your sister. How could I what? Brian told me what you two did.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything with Brian.
Don't lie to me. He told me everything.
Margie, seriously, what are you going on about?
You slept with him. You got him ridiculously drunk and had an affair with him.
Of course not. Why would I do such a thing?
There is no need to play dumb with me, Mary. Brian told me everything. He told me the reason he wanted a divorce is because he thinks he's the one that got you pregnant. He's been feeling so guilty and didn't know how to tell me. But in our first marriage counseling this evening, he admitted it all.
Alright, fine. It was a drunken affair, so what? It was just one night, anyway. There is no need to get your knickers in a twist. The two of you are so sensitive. Honestly.
Are you being for real right now? How are we sensitive? He cheated on me with you, my own sister.
Just relax and let me explain. When you told me that Brian wanted to get a divorce, I figured it was because he was feeling guilty. But I couldn't let it get out that the reason you two were splitting up was because we had an affair. I could never let my husband find out. So when you came to me, I thought it was a perfect excuse for me to try and help you try to save your marriage.
How insensitive can you be? First, you sleep with my husband, then when he wants to break things off with me, because of you, you try to help fix things all so that your husband doesn't find out that you cheated on him?
Well, when you put it that way,
you are unbelievable. I should just come clean about this whole thing, the fake pregnancy and everything, and go through with the divorce like he wanted.
Okay, Margie, no. I think you're overreacting a bit. You were upset, I get that, but it wasn't Brian's fault.
He was a part of the affair. How could it possibly not be his fault? I'm going to message him right now and tell him that I want to go through with the divorce.
Margaret, will you just hold on for 1 second?
You are going to ruin everything. Just listen to me. If you want to be angry with anybody, be angry with me. Of course I am angry with you. You are also guilty in this situation.
Yes, okay, but I can't let you just blame Brian and throw your years of marriage away. It really wasn't his fault.
You're just saying this because you want to save your own ass, so your husband doesn't find out what you have done.
I'm just going to come out and say it.
Say what? What more could you possibly have to say? I spiked Brian's drink when I bumped into him at the bar. He really isn't the one to blame for the affair. Are you crazy? You can't be serious.
Why would I admit to something I didn't do?
I can't believe this. Why would you do this to me?
I was jealous, okay? I have always had a thing for Brian. You just happened to catch his attention first and won him over. I guess I have always just resented that fact. So, when I saw the opportunity arise, I couldn't resist but to finally see what I have been missing out on all these years.
You're unbelievable. Why are you confessing this now?
I'm hoping that, with my honesty, you will agree to keep this a secret from my husband.
I can't understand why you would cheat on your husband anyway. I thought things were going well between you two. You always seem to play happy family.
Since I'm on a roll with being honest, I may as well tell you.
Tell me what? What else could you possibly have to tell me again?
This wasn't the first time I have cheated on my husband.
What? Why?
He just doesn't satisfy me sexually. So, I have to find my pleasure somewhere else.
If you're so unhappy, why don't you just break it off with your husband instead of cheating on him continuously?
The other men don't mean anything to me. I basically just use them for sex. And I just want to keep my marriage intact because my husband is wealthy and he can support me and the kids.
I seriously cannot believe you would be so disgusting and use so many people like this. They don't deserve this. And your husband and children especially don't deserve what you are doing to them.
It really not that big of a deal. Relax.
I'm done talking to you. Brian, I need to talk to you about the affair. Margie, I really am so sorry. I never meant to be unfaithful to you or to hurt you. No, Brian, it's okay. I don't blame you. You don't? No, Mary is to blame. She took advantage of you by spiking your drink at the bar that night. What? She has just confessed everything to me. She told me she was jealous of us and wanted to see what she was missing out on. And because she knew you wouldn't go for the affair willingly, she drugged you. She even said that you weren't the only guy she had cheated on her husband with. So who knows if she has done this to other men? I knew something wasn't adding up. What do you mean? Ever since that night, I have been going through the events over and over again in my head. I just couldn't figure out how it all ended so badly. I could only remember having 2 drinks, and my receipt from the bar proves that. There was no way I could have been so off my head on just 2 drinks like I was.
But after paying for my tab, everything went blank, and I don't remember what happened. I do remember waking up the next morning in a hotel room though, and I've just been unsettled about the situation ever since. Then, when he told me about Mary being pregnant and how far along she was, I got a flashback of that drunken night. I remember going to the hotel with her and sleeping with her, but I still couldn't understand why I did it, which is why I have been feeling so guilty. I couldn't face telling you about it because it was so unlike me to do that sort of thing, and I was so upset with myself that I had betrayed you. That is why I wanted to get a divorce, because I didn't think I could forgive myself for what I have done to you.
Well, you don't have to feel guilty anymore, because it wasn't your fault. You were taken advantage of.
You know what? You were right. Mary did take advantage of me. She used me for sex, without my permission. That's rape!
That's true, and really brave of you to admit it. Most men wouldn't dare admit to something like this for fear of seeming weak or unmanly.
This has nothing to do with me being weak. She drugged me in order to have her way with me.
You're right, she did. So, what do you want to do about it?
I want to sue her. You said yourself, she admitted to using other men too. What if they were also drugged? She can't keep getting away with it. Something needs to be done.
If that's what you want to do, I fully support your decision. I can't believe my own sister could be so despicable.
I'm so sorry I felt like I couldn't be honest with you and just tell you what had happened.
It's okay, honey. I just hope now you know that you can always talk to me about anything. There's no need to keep secrets or bottle up guilty feelings.
Thank you, my love. You were right. I should have had more faith in our relationship.
While we're on the topic of honesty, I also need to confess something.
What is it?
I'm not really pregnant. I lied about it. And after I told you I went to the doctor for a checkup and found out that I'm actually infertile.
What?
I'm so sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but Mary got me to believe that telling you I was pregnant was the only way I could save our relationship. I figured that once I had told you I was pregnant, it would fix things and we would keep making love. So, I thought I was bound to get pregnant eventually. Then, I found out I'm not able to have a baby, and I wanted to tell you. But Mary got in my head again and told me not to. I realize now that she only had her own interests in mind, because she just didn't want her husband to find out about the affairs.
I'm so sorry I made you feel like you couldn't tell me this sooner. Now that everything is out in the open, I don't want to leave you. And whether you can get pregnant or not doesn't make a difference to me. I still love you. Plus, if you really want a baby that badly, there are other ways you can go about getting one. We could adopt, or even get a surrogate.
This is fantastic. Maybe we will get a child after all. Hello, Mary. I thought you should know that Brian and I plan on taking you to court for rape and suing you for the custody of the baby.
And I'm moving away to become a circus clown. You always were the worst at telling jokes, Margie.
This is no joke, Mary. Brian filed the charges last week. You should be served any day now.
What? You can't do this to me, and you can't have my baby either.
We can, and we are.
How could you betray me like this?
Betray you? Are you kidding? You were the one that drugged my husband to have sex with him, and you're carrying his child as a result of that.
It's my baby too. You can't take it away from me.
We will let the court decide that, but from how I see it, you have a very poor case.
Fine, I will release custody of the baby, but then I want a lesser sentence.
Are you seriously trying to barter a baby?
But my husband can't find out about this. If they charge me, I will tell them that I have been falsely accused, and the only reason I am giving up custody of the baby is that I don't want to raise a child in prison, and that I feel bad for you because you can't have a baby of your own.
You've lost your mind. There is no way he's going to buy that. He's going to figure out you have been unfaithful to him and are carrying another man's baby whether you like it or not. And if he doesn't, I will tell him everything.
You can't! What will my children think?
You probably should have thought about all this before you went sleeping around with other men. Your family clearly meant less to you than your sexual needs, because you put those first. And you know what? Karma has finally caught up to you.
Margie, please! I'm your sister! You have to help me get out of this!
Get out of it? I'm the one who helped to expose you. And you were the one that raped my husband. Why would I ever want to do anything for you ever again?
Because we are family, and blood is thicker than water.
Oh, don't try and play that crap. You deserve everything that is coming for you. You have been an unfaithful wife, a horrible mother, and a disgusting person in general. I wouldn't help you even if it was a life or death situation.
Margie, please! I'm begging you!
You can beg all you like. Nothing is going to change my mind. In fact, you might be better off saving the begging and pleading for the judge. You may even need a bit extra if the case is taken before a jury. I have nothing more to say to you now. You have made your bed. Now you can lie in it. And whether you want to or not, justice is going to be served, and you will have to answer for all your terrible actions. Conclusion. In the end, Mary was prosecuted for the drugging and raping of several men. Once the case with Brian went public, other men were brave enough to come forward and admit that they too had been assaulted and taken advantage of by my sister. Her husband inevitably found out about all this and filed for a divorce. He also filed for full custody of their children, which she was granted. Brian and I were also granted custody of the baby Mary was pregnant with. After the birth, I cut ties with my sister completely, and my family and I disowned her. Brian and I also decided to name Mary's husband the godfather of the baby, because we wanted to keep him a part of our baby's life. As for Brian and I, we continued to go to marriage counseling to work on our relationship. After all of this, we have gone from strength to strength, and we are closer than we have ever been,